primarily runs on the mobile. As in, there is an element of it which could be done. You can just reminder service, and they're just getting clients signed up on it. So they had some issues around scalability of that product. So they've been trying to operationally handle that. But I do know it's with two platforms. One is that, and the second one is our mobility product, which is mobile banking. It's again, it's a company we acquired a while back, probably maybe 2 years back, on mobility based on New Zealand. Now they are trying to do something in the area of getting location-aware services.
Okay.
Okay. I can check on that. There's a guy called um, Surge Van Dam, who's driving that. And I can, if interested, I can find out.
Yeah, it's just kind of makes sense if we already have a video or a portrait analytics. How's that going, by the way?
Struggling a little bit.
Okay, is any reason for that? It's just the
Price points.
Okay.
I think it's like selling the Aperio suite is like $1 billion sale,
Yeah.
give or take. All in professional.
Small background to why we started this. Small background to why we started these boardroom discussions. Like I was mentioning, we are content generators, and as a media house, talking to the experts, getting information, dispersing the information has been our prime business from the content perspective. For Times jobs and for tech, why we verticalized Times jobs was because we felt that there were certain communities where it was not enough to just have a recruiter and a candidate. There was more, it was more in the realm of referrals, it was more in the realm of networking and so on. So we said, why not allow that segment to network with each other, and that was the genesis of TechGig. Once we started that, then we said that if there is such a large community, and this is across the board, it can be entry-level people, mid-level, and even a large number of senior-level people who were networking with each other. Now, if they were networking, we wanted to give them good tools and a lot of learning and understanding. And we got experts like yourself talking to them by way of webinars, by answering questions, probably discussions like these. And when we did all this, we found that the community was responding very positively. And being an online medium, we could translate everything that was happening into numbers and see what was working and what was not. The boardroom discussions have been particularly exciting because we found that what we discuss is what the consumers or the candidates or the community is raising. Those issues come back to experts, and when the experts deliberate and we put it back in the newspapers as post events, or we generate content on the TOI.com, ET.com, we found that the traction was very high, which meant that the consumer was raising an issue, the experts were sharing their views, we were taking it back to the consumer, and then it became a to and fro, and a very, very healthy to and fro. And that is how these boardrooms have evolved, and I think we are taking it to the next level, where we are saying that till now we were calling the HR experts, the people who were recruiting, about the recruitment challenges, the skills challenges. Now we are saying that if the community is engaged, can we get the CIOs, the CTOs, the people in the functions to deliberate and get back to the community saying that this is what is happening, these are the challenges that we're facing, or these are the trends you should be looking forward to. Avnish here is the product head of TechGig, and one reason why we are able to do this is because from the back end, Avnish is able to take out a whole host of trends that we are probably raising in the discussion today. What we've given you is just a snapshot, just a guide to how this discussion will evolve. But big data is something that we found that there was a lot of noise around this. So we decided to see whether we could do a series of discussions with experts like yourselves and see what is the direction forward, and maybe if you have any suggestions on how we can creatively change course or introduce services, we would love to do that, both for your benefit and the larger community.
How to improve yourself on those skills, and then again you could go back and assess yourself. So what we've seen is that a lot of skills, the new age skills, are not something which you are taught in college or you have worked on it initially. But a lot of people are interested in getting into something like big data or cloud computing. But most people, I would say more than 90% have no idea how to get into a big data role. So, and they also don't know as to what skills are required. In India, because I get a big data job in India, or whether how exciting is big data. Questions we also want to find answers to, and obviously these are the questions that users want to find answers to.
And the users are consistently and persistently asking these questions. I have these skills, can I get into, is big data something I should be?
So I might not be ready for big data, but what do I need to do in 2 years so that I can get into big data roles? Or whether it is going online. Because if you're planning your earlier you used to get confused with someone to work on a skills part.
And consistently throughout discussions, what has come through is that degrees are all very well, but if you come in without the skills, you are actually challenging the workplace.
And most of the time, what if?
No. So I think if I were to phrase what you're saying is actually more relevant to the system as a whole, whether it is big data now or whether it was some other hot skill 5 years back. I think there is a, at least whatever I've observed here, I think you can put this problem in markets at different levels. What we call sometimes the skill is as big as world peace. It is nothing. So I think the one way I look at it is there are core skills that people need to have. So you go to an engineering college, you learn .NET, Java, and things, and you think that I'm going to be now looking into big data, or I'm going to become a business analyst, or I'm going to become something which I can use those things. I think the core skills is applied. Technology, it's the core skills getting into the application or how fast you're transitioning into the applied side of those things. Now, when you think of applied skills, you need to understand business, you need to understand domain, you need to understand why, where, rather than the basic tools which every engineer, or most of the time engineers in IT education, they get Java, .NET, and buzzword written there. But very rarely you can actually move into area of things. And this is where I think when people look at careers, they look at, I was having this interesting conversation about, something which is in our area, which there's a company called Beige. They do these applications, navigation thing, got acquired by $1 billion plus by Google. Yeah, Google acquired it. And people were asking if it takes less than $20,000 to create something like that. So what happened here? I think it's a simple application of somebody was able to use those applied skills. That actually gets everyone excited about big data and social and cloud and mobility and everything, and the buzzword starts coming in, and it creates a lot of noise and confusion.
In fact, it is the confusion that we would like to address. The noise is good, but it can be addressed the confusion. Let's go back. When you look at big data, is it a
which is not in your premises, and combined together, it is a definitely difficult task. So it has a lot of value, and people need, as you said, your forest skill, your database skill, your reporting skill, and business skill. One person cannot have all of it. So you need the expert in each area to combine, and that team really can do the job. But it has a lot of value. The data which is used is a small fraction of what we all have. If we can just increase by 5%, the value will be far more.
And that usage of that data or the results of the data is normally driven by the business, or by the tech teams. That
business generates the need and the requirement, and tech need to give the result.
Yeah.
The need is created by the business, which comes to tech, they analyze, then they offer a solution. So it is a combination of the two together. So many times they don't have that business skill. Most of the time they can do good programming, they have good data monitoring, or whatever. The need to come from the business, from the front end, sales and business users.
To add skills, like there are 3 skills which are required for any particular product shape. One is data business person, or you can also call it a data leader.
Yeah.
That is the person who would generate the need. But what kind of things you want from the data business. And data business person will also create engagement point between the business and very rare. Because these are a combination of domain plus data experts. So they know both domain. They would be from a particular domain, like say telecom. So there would be data business person from telecom side. He'll not be able to do the same justice if he moves to medical side. So medical data. So it would be irrelevant to him. He doesn't know that what to do with the data. But he would know that telecom side, if there are CDR data, what he can do with CDR. So he would guide the principle. He would lay out the strategy.
So his expertise is the domain rather than how to and
Only for domain and data. So he understands what the system provide, what all information is provided to increase, get the best ROI